Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS. Now it's real time. Sponsored by Coquel Casino Resort.
Welcome back, everyone. I've only got a few minutes here, and for you that don't duck hunt, you're probably like, good, get over it. Okay, I'm sorry. I love it. And you all know that each year I do the best I can to not talk too much about duck hunting stuff. To a fault, by the way. I get flack for it, believe it or not, all the time. All right, so no zoom here, right? Anyway, what's going on here is your cork. Your cork and your reed are the most important part of anything when you're talking about your duck call, okay? Maintenance in a wood call, it's frustrating. It does bug me, but there is no better call in the world, in my opinion, okay? Everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone's got their own call that they like to use. And like I said earlier, if you had a buddy that sounded great with a duck call, you go by one, you're like, I'm going to sound just as good as him, and then you don't. Because everyone's different, just like ducks are. Ducks all sound different. If you go, and I would highly recommend, if you're new at it, go listen to real ducks at a park, wherever it is. Every mallard hen sounds a little bit different. They all have different cadences. It's okay to not sound as good as what you think one of your friends does, or somebody that you saw on YouTube, okay? It's okay. It's more important of knowing when and what to say, and for that matter, when not to say anything, than it is to be as good as somebody else. Okay, so always keep that in mind. Anyway, that gets overlooked quite often. One of the best duck callers I have ever hunted with sounds terrible, but he'll snap a neck on a mallard at 100 yards because he knows what to say, when to say, and how to say it. And he's one of the best that there is to get those birds to turn right back around. What's going on, honey? It's very impressive. But anyway, I want you to look here, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get a great shot, but I'm going to try. This is a brand new cork, and you can see it's never been used, and you can see the size difference between this one here. This was a cork that was brand new last year, okay? Now, you can see that it shrunk up. It's as hard as a rock, and it may be usable, and I'm going to try to use it again this year if I can. What you need to do is soak these corks, a true cork. I actually drop my reed and my cork in water every single day after I hunt to make sure that cork stays swollen. The better that tension is inside the insert, the better your call is going to sound. You don't want the back end of that reed bouncing around because you're just not going to get good sound out of it. So it's important to have a very tight reed, or excuse me, a very tight cork on that reed. But if I have to, I will switch out to a brand new one, but typically I should be able to get this one soaked and swollen back up and be able to make it work. Right now, it wouldn't work at all, okay? So you have to make sure that your corks are super tight and you just don't get any of that weird resonation from the back end of that reed. If that sounds goofy, I promise you it's a thing, okay? So cork, very, very important, especially in this particular call. If you have a true cork, make sure that it's swollen, right? If you ever take it out and you hunted it one day, everything sounded great, you go back out the next time, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, whatever it is, and it just sounds terrible, it's because your cork shrunk and your reed is loose. It's terrible, okay? You all know what I'm talking about. Well, if I should say that, I say if you know, you know. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to show you. This reed that I have here on the left, this is actually, maybe not to you on the left, but on my left. This reed is about 5 seasons old. It's broken in, super flexible, sounds fantastic, at least to me. But it's starting to split a little bit on the edge of these dog ears. That's what these are called, where they're kind of clipped like that. This is a brand new reed. Now, the only thing I'm going to say to this is that if you get your reeds that are from the manufacturer, that are cut in their dies, everything's the same. Okay, which is super important if you can get them. Sometimes you can get around it by going to places and picking up plastic and just cutting yourself, which I do mess with, quite honestly. But if you can get your factory reeds and you need to replace your old reed, you just want to get that loaded up into the call and start playing with it. And then you want to also make sure that the measurements are the same length. If there's any variant there, trim them down with an extremely sharp pair of scissors, and just make sure that it just fits square, that everything is the way it's supposed to be with that new reed as opposed to the old one. And if you can see here, this reed, which has never been used, is absolutely... Are you yelling at me, Ryan? Oh, I'm hearing quacking in the background. I love it, wherever that came from. This is a brand new reed, and the dimensions are exactly the same. So here's how I'm going to wrap this up. Any variant in your reed and cork at all will change how your call sounds. How it's positioned on the soundboard, any variant at all will change how the call sounds, from sticking to not being able to really run one out or get low. So you always need to make sure that everything's centered up. With that wood call, keep the soundboard oiled up. Say it again, Ryan. Okay, gotta go. Anyway, I could do this for hours. We'll be back to wrap things up in just a minute. I love that.